Hey everyone, it's Dave here.
And it's Tom. This is Ratchet and Clank, a remake, am I right?
Yep, Insomniac Games have basically taken the original PS2 game and they've completely remade, or should I say more like they've re-envisioned the entire game for a whole new platform and a new audience.
That's pretty cool. So it takes advantage of the PS4 in a more sort of nuanced way. It looks like they've really upped the spectacle when it comes to those flying cogs and all the effects going on. It's quite crazy actually, especially switching back to the PS3 or PS2 versions.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank's always been kind of a game where you blow lots of stuff up, particularly in the sequels, and one of the things they've done with this remake is just up the ante on everything. There's more enemies, more particles, and the impact on gameplay is it means you get a lot more sort of nuts and bolts where you can upgrade your weapons and stuff, so it kind of plays into the gameplay mechanics.
I mean, back with the PS3 remaster, let's call it, it just took the PS2 code and brushed up a few things here and there. I think, is it just a few improved textures?
So yeah, high resolution textures is one improvement on the PS3 remaster, but they've also sort of refined some of the geometry elements as well, so they've added just little touches to bits of scenery which are previously a little blocky before.
But the PS4 version, meanwhile, this is a wholesale sort of rewriting of everything. Taken from top to bottom, they've redone the geometry and, as you say, re-envisioned the whole game to a kind of current-gen standard. Is it radically different to play?
In gameplay terms, it's probably got more in common with the later Ratchet and Clank titles on PS3, so there's a more emphasis on sort of the shooting, but in terms of the level design, that's where things have really changed. There's a lot of locations that are the same between the two, but then the whole sort of level layouts around that have kind of changed. You go through one familiar place, but then the routes are completely different as you move around the level, so it's kind of like they've just reworked everything to provide a fresh, new experience.
And in terms of the presentation of all these new levels, this is now a full 1080p with post-processing, am I right?
Yep, full 1080p, there's post-AA in play as well.
So what were we seeing on the PS3 version in terms of resolution?
So that was native 720p.
Also, it's quite a bump then. This is the first time we're seeing it at this sort of pristine level of image quality.
Yeah, definitely. The PS3 version is still a lot sharper than the original sort of PS2 game, which was 480i. I believe there's no progressive scan option, so this is the sort of the best way we've sort of seen the original game displayed so far.
Very nice.
So yeah, going back to the PS4 version, the other big change aside from resolution is basically how new technology has shaped the look of the game. So on the older versions it looks more like a cartoon in that respect. It's not cel shaded, but you've got sort of quite plain textures which are well suited to the PS2 architecture. But when we look at the new remake, everything's got a CG style aesthetic.
Yeah, it really helps along. Is that a motion blur effect I see?
Yeah, definitely. You've got camera and object blur there, you've got depth of field, and overall Insomniac are basically trying to replicate the look of their new Ratchet and Clank movie. And on that note, some of the actual cutscenes in the game use footage from the film along with footage created just for this particular title.
Ah, very interesting. And they kind of mesh well, do they?
Really well, yeah. The only difference you can tell is that the real-time ones feature jaggies and the ones that are from the movie are obviously very clean, but the aesthetic is really, really close. It's surprising just, how similar it looks to a CGI presentation.
Yeah, agreed.
Right, well, I think that about covers it for today. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a like or subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.